Witchcraft has been on Earth for a long time. In the 14th century, magic inside the church was okay. This was usually known as a miracle, but outside of the church, it was considered magic that was not okay. People known as witches did magic outside of the church where it was considered witchcraft and the work of Satan. People were afraid of the type of witchcraft witches were able to do. They feared that witches can harm others and use their power for evil. Nobody knew where their powers came from. But in reality, witches were herbalists who used herbs that contained certain molecules that explained the power they had.
Being an herbalist in the 14th century was extremely dangerous because the women who would make these potions were considered witches due to their powers of healing. Each herb that they used had contained compounds that, when extracted, could heal those that needed healing. These compounds are called alkaloids. Alkaloids are organic compounds that mostly contain nitrogen atoms. Cocaine is an example of an alkaloid extracted from a plant. Cocaine is from a cocoa leaf, which is used to get rid of everyday problems such as being fatigued, and also later on today used to treat morphine addicts. Another example is hyrosamine, which comes from a magic root and is used to control muscle spasms and treat a variety of stomach and intestinal disorders. These molecules generally contain a nitrogen with a carbon ring, but can be different by some structures which have more carbon rings.
Mandrake comes from a root that contains two main alkaloids, such as hiscoamine and hiscosine. Both of these alkaloids have a similar chemical structure, but hiscosine contains one more oxygen. People also use hiscosine as a truth serum because it's alkaloids. Ergot alkaloids in this plant and animals were the ones who caused hallucinations.
The ointments and greases made by people have hallucinations, which became a problem because people believed that herbalists could fly. But they weren't flying. Plants and animals contain alkaloids, which make people go a bit crazy. Plants such as mandrake and cocoa leaves contain alkaloids.
As society grew, we became more reasonable compared to the 14th century. Society has also changed in a way that we became more advanced in our knowledge of molecules in plants and animals. With this new knowledge, it allows us to provide visible and truthful evidence if we were to go back in time accusing people of being witches, unlike how in the 14th century, people just made accusations and the innocent were blamed. Knowledge of the effects of alkaloids included paranoia, manic behavior, and hallucinations. This knowledge helped society today by improving current medicines. Scientists started to notice the effects of alkaloids, and research was done to look for new medications that were derivatives for those compounds that contained positive uses.
For instance, cocaine is no longer prescribed for pain, but benzocaine, novocaine, and lidocaine mimic the pain-destroying actions of cocaine and are healthier alternatives instead of the use of cocaine. Knowledge such as this help doctors today improve on their healing techniques and expand the library of known compounds from alkaloids that are used to heal the ill. In today's society, we can also find alkaloids in everyday drinks such as caffeine in coffee and tea.